Right guys, we're ready to make a start. The actual piece of paper that I'm working on is bigger than A3, so it's slightly curving up here over the easel because it's a bit large for the easel. Now you've seen in that clips, we projected the image up, penciled it, then you see me lay Pro Mask over, move it over to the cutting table, and then cut these pieces out, sort of cut round the face, cut the lips out, I cut the drips out, and then everything else is sort of penciled out. So we're going to do the background first. Now you also add in that little video clip a sort of colour swatch to match your colours. I've not accurately matched my colours to the reference image, I really haven't. I've just grabbed a load of blues and I'm going to get it down with the blues that I've got. FW inks. We've got like a blue grey for the background. We'll make this a little bit lighter for the background, and we're going to dust that in first, and then we can remove the masking. And I also said to save the backing paper of the Pro Mask, so when you take these pieces off you can place them onto your Pro Mask backing paper and you can just move them across. It makes it a little bit easier than trying to stick them somewhere and you'll just get all bits stuck onto the sticky of the back of the masking. Put it onto the silicone paper, it's easy to take on and off. Now the brush we're using is the Infinity 2024, and we're going to drop the pressure to around 22 psi. I'm going to get some of this grey mix that I'm doing for the background, so I'm just going to dust in around the background. And just drop shadow around. In here, a bit coming off this piece here. I'm using the same blue that I've got for the background, but I'm just building the layers upon it to make it darker. do for that bit. So with your Pro Mask, you've got the outer, and I've chopped it either side so you can take the top and the bottom off, and just remove the lips. Like that. Place that, that's what I mean by on your silicone paper, just place it onto your silicone paper like that, and then you can remove this a lot easier and just put that to one side. So the lips, I'm just going to go in with a nice bright blue first, light one. And where the highlights are, I'm just going to drop the blue in. Put a little bit down here, just to dust in a bit. Like that, and just take a little bit of that up to that top edge. Like that. Then I'm going to grab another bit. I'm just going to build these. In that reference, it was like there was a few blues. I think it was 3 that I pulled out when I done the colour picker. Let's go in. I'm just going to do some sort of curve, like half moon curve coming up on the shape, like that. And just build it up in like dagger strokes. Like that. Fade it more to the top. Like that. Just fade it up. And darken this centerpiece. Like that. Same with the bottom. Like that. I'm just creating some little highlight bits there with that light bit first, and then sort of darken round it. You've got some little lines coming up this way. I'm going to go mad on that bit. There's some back a bit. Right, that'll do for that pass. So now I'm just going to darken that mix off, and I'm going to drop a Payne's grey into that and just darken it out. Just give it a darker mix. A little bit up here. Little pass along there. On that. Give that a little clean out of the brush. Now I've got a bit of aquafine. It's a deeper blue. Tint. Just make that blue a little bit more bolder. This we're just tinting over the top with the aquafine. That dark bit in the middle, just darken that off. Like that. think that'll do for them, and then we've got the highlights put in. Now I'm going to try and see if the eraser takes anything off this. It is a bit. Just put some little highlights over it like that. Just to make them pop forward a bit. Like that. Caran dash on the brights. My highlights are slightly different, but they're where they sort of need to be. That'll do. That just gives it a little highlight over the lip. So that's that bit in. We can now put the outer mask on, cover the background up. We might add a little bit more to this background. We'll see how we go. We'll put the outer on, take this inner and place the inner over to the silicone paper, and it will leave these drips. And we can place that back up. In fact, we might do the drips now. We'll do the drips. As soon as we've got them blue tones, we'll do the drips. So these should. I'm going to stick them there. I've literally just sort of cut across because I didn't cut all the eyes out, and I should have gone round the whole thing really, but I didn't want to cut everything out. It should be cut out. Yeah, we're going to need to back it the outer on to take them out. I'll cut this in sections. And I cut an extra piece out here. See where that's. Just get it the best you can. When you're placing it back on, because you will get movement if you're not careful. And just try not to press too hard down with your Pro Mask, because it will stick. I think that's got it. Now we can remove these bits. Are these going to come out? Cut that off. I don't know whether I'll cut around that one. I don't think I did. Right, that's one of the runs. I'll stick that on the easel. I've got some more here. That's going to come out, no. Put the reference. Yeah, that goes into the eye there. Just going to slice that off. Same as that bit. Slice it. I'll just do I won't go right up to that edge, even though it's blue in here under the eye. I'll just keep it sort of out of the way. Best I can to the edge of that masking. That bit. Right. Let's drop these down. Change up the blue again. Go back to that original one where we sort of started on the lips. Just put a light pass in. Round now. Light bit there. That needed masking. That little bit there needed masking. Right. Got to do the pro mask. Stick it on. That'll do. Right, get some blue on. A bit down here. Got a bit down here that needed masking as well. Oh. Missed loads on cutting out. Cut a bit of pro mask off. Cut this piece out. I think that's got it. That's got it. You can use white for your highlights on this because you're not going to worry about blue shift. It's just going to go straight down, no dramas. I don't want to press the Pro Mask down too hard because we're on paper. And this paper's thin, it's thinner than the one I normally use. Right, let's start to darken these out. Got a little fade going around the bit here. And then darker on this one. And then over to this one. Like that. Clean the brush, get the aquaformal tint over the top. Brush a good clean out. A bit of aquaforming in there. I'm going to give that a drop of water and just wash it out a bit. Just go back in and tint this down now. In the bottoms. the eraser again and just see if we can lose any of this. Some little highlights in on the tops of these. We can add two then. Little highlights. We'll see how these sit when we get the rest of the face in. Right, let's remove all the masking and see what mess is left. Probably got overspray, blowouts, missed bits, look, see. It's what you get when you don't level your masking up absolutely on point. You'll get bits where it comes through like that. We'll sort it out. Can always go over it. Now I really did need the outer mask kept on. See how much I use masking. It's very rare I use it, and when I do, I do everything the wrong way because I'm not one for masking things, you know. Hopefully it don't pull the paper. That's not bad. Let's get a bit down this down here. Around here. Just going in light, just dropping a bit of paint down. This is like a lighter blue. Around here. I think I've missed loads out on the penciling out. Oh well. I've been up there. Just a bit over the forehead. Let's get that thin now. Right, let's start to shadow this out a bit. Now, a bit round, a bit in here. Get a bit in these eyes, sink them back. And in this one. Trying to get some good lines here. Oh, wavy, all over the place. And that one. Not on point today. Waving all over the place. Bring a bit of that room here. Get a bit in there. Not great. You get the idea. nasty. Look at all that paint that was smudged on my fingers at the beginning. It wrecked it. Oh well. Still to practice panel. It'll probably end up in the bin when I've finished. Oh, let's get that wire cut that bit out there. This isn't great at all. Right, let's just drop this in with these. Get this picture done. I haven't even sorted all this bit out. Missed out loads of bits on this. Let's just break that out. Need to get a bit of blue in there, really. Flash that out. Hello. Add to that. These are just on the image, they just look like black lines going across with a light sort. I'm going to put on the blue on this. Just get these into place. Oop. Dig the needle in the paper. Get these in here. In there. Let's have a bit of colour in. Need some darker blues behind this bit in here. Right, drop some blue in. It's looking absolutely horrendous. Drop a little bit of blue in here. Let's drop some in here. Put it in here. A few little dots. Go for a little bit of that in here. And brighten the eyes up a little bit around here. Same here. While we've got that blue in here, let's just get these in here. Dash in there. A little one there. Get some of this blue in under here. And here. Like that. Little kick of blue. Chuck a few of these down here. Do some little eyelashes coming across. He needs to do. The FW black's an absolute nightmare to spray. Right, black iron, just black over these. You get the spraying nice. Probably looks tighter on the actual reference image what you're looking on the TV screen. When you blow this up, it is quite like this, where it's quite liney and it's not as detailed as it looks in the actual reference image. Remember, you're looking at, when you look at these, a tablet screen's a lot smaller than this. God, this black is horrendous. Yeah, they are just dark lines. Have a little play with the eraser. Some Caran d'Ache pencils and get rid of some. Yeah. Too much overspray on the black. Sharpen them up the best I can. We can only go so much with erasing, and you can see how hard I'm pressing down with this, just trying to get the paint off. It's taking a bit of it, just to bring some highlights out. It's giving it that sort of look that we're after. Tiny little bits up here. Bring some more highlights in. That's not looking too bad. There you go, we got it down. We had some mistakes and hiccups along the way with paint, and I had paint all over my hands. You're going to get it because you're sort of eager to do it as a beginner, and you're leaning on your paper and you'll pull your mask off and the paper will pull away and you'll be like, oh, this is a disaster, and the brush clogs up and you're blasting through. You're not testing to the side and you blast on the paper and you get the wrong colour. You go through all of that and then try and go through all of that and then stick a camera at the side of you, filming you paint it, and then talk on how you're doing it, and then add that stress to the mix as well, and it's like, but for a Sunday it's not bad, it's come out all right. We use Caran d'Ache pencils, highly recommend them, guys. If you do get any mistakes, I had a black smear here and it was like, erased a bit of it out. Then I thought, right, let's go in with the Caran d'Ache white, blended it away, dusted over, got rid of it. You can tidy bits right up with the pencils, you really can, because they go down matte and the FW just glides over the top really nice. You can blend and you can tidy bits up, so I wasn't really worried on any bits of smudging with my hands. I thought, yeah, I've got the Caran d'Ache to the side, I can just blend out, repaint over and touch bits up. Added a few extra bits to it. I've added a few more highlights on the drips coming down just to make them pop forward a little bit more. Added a few more highlights in the lips and just sort of toned it. You see me sort of tone it, and didn't do any colour mixing or colour matching. I just got a load of blues and went, yeah, I'll go with that. I'll lay that one over that, tint that one over that, and you just seen how it came together. And it looks like the reference. And so not a bad piece. We use this paper. It's very thin, so I had to be very, very light. You see me cut a few bits out on the Pro Mask as I was going around it that I'd missed. So very lightly, because this is only a 250 GSM, it's thin. And when you're putting a real sharp scalpel cutting through Pro Mask on top, but it didn't pull any bits up coming across on it. So it came out not bad at all. I hope you've enjoyed the step by step and picked up a few little bits along the way. Don't stress, give it a go. It's all practice like this. This is just a practice piece. These pieces just get put into a folder and disappeared into the archives of my artwork. They don't go anywhere, or, you know, it's just sort of a keep me on the trigger. That's all it is, just to keep me on the trigger every day, just a bit more practice, 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 and that's all you got to do. And then your artwork comes better. And then when you do eventually, when I do not have a camera in front of me and I'm having to talk and film, I can then proper concentrate on the piece of artwork that I'm doing and really get homed in on it and really tighten it up. But it's always different when I'm looking across and I've got the camera there. Then I look up and I keep forgetting the microphone's there, and I thought, oh yeah, I've got to talk you through this bit, and oh, here's how you do this bit. But when you see me paint, you'll see sort of how I go around it and just sort of put the bits in and then knock bits back to bring the highlights out, or erase a bit. But you can only go so far. That's why I'm having to try and go very lightly to be able to knock and get the eraser and knock it back and just punch the highlights out of it. But it came out. So I hope you enjoyed it. Drop your comments, tell me your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next step by step. Cheers.